Well, let's see what the world has to offer today.
Wait. Matron, take them away. Oh.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I am the very knackered Scruffy trader. And why am I knackered? Well, I was up all last night doing the Asian session. Helped the guys in the squad. And if you see the other video that was up roughly the same time as this one, you'll have seen the results. So do subscribe to the channel and drop into the description to get future updates from my Twitter feed, and you'll see all these sort of videos. So what am I doing this morning? I don't need to do a lot, to be honest, and I am knackered, and it's why I'm drinking more coffee than what's good for me. Now, I normally drink it to lubricate the brain, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. Today he's drinking it to keep him awake. But I like to trade. I love the charts. I love my job. And during the day for the scruffs, I like to try and keep my hand in with them. Even if I'm not doing a lot, I'll keep an eye. And one of the hardest things that I'm trying to get over to them is less is more. It's wonderful to trade, but it's also very dangerous to trade because you can get caught up in the euphoria of it. And as soon as you finish one trade, you're looking for the next trade and you're constantly looking at all the markets. No, we have one job as traders. That's to be paid. That's it. You know, we're not here to trade. We're here to be paid. And it's why you often see I'll do maybe one trade, 2 trades a day, because that's all I need. But as soon as I've been paid off one of them, that's it. I am done. I don't go back to market. Keeps my consistency levels running high, you know, because I kind of told one of the guys off yesterday too much. And it's not a dig, it's kind of tough love, if you like, because I've got best interest. But he was paid on the morning and then hit lucky on the afternoon by doing it again. Could easily have had that all taken off him. I've done it in the past, you know, where I've tried to trade every market, every which way, never ends well. And if you're trying to trade two ways in the same day on the same asset, that is a definite road to disaster. And I can't stress that enough. And sometimes I see it all the time, and I had requests yesterday, kind of what today. Oh, I wanted to follow your trades. I want to know where you get in, where you get out, where you place your stops. And asked outright, I don't do signals. If it's a signal you're looking for, it's the wrong place, because by the time I've getting in and getting out, you mightn't have seen what's going on. So you'll either be late to the party, or you'll be sort of frightened when it's moving against, because I do pound average, things like this. Signals don't work. But the other element to the signal is, what if I'm off for the day? What are you doing? Nothing. So signals teach you nothing either. So it's kind of, again, it's tough love when I'm asked these sort of things. What I try and do is show the mechanics of the chart, how they work, why they work, and the principles I use can be put into any product on pretty much any time frame. But then you filter time frames. And I know this sounds a bit odd, but I use, well, case in point, before I go on the chart, I use an anchor chart. An anchor chart is something that I take a good visual of what's going on. Now, for day trading, it's normally the hour. If it's a slower market, I'll push it out to a 4 hour, because obviously it takes time for a candle to play out. You then need a trigger candle or a trigger chart. Now, that'll be the time frame below. And that's where I'm looking for certain criteria to come into play once I've made a decision. And then you need an entry chart, which can be a chart below that. So for argument's sake, an overview, look at the hour, see what's going on, do what's called +1, move a time frame up to the 4 hour, see if there's any confluence between the 4 and the hour. If there is, look for a trigger, which is -1, next time frame down. So we're now looking at three time frames. And if all 3 of those align, we're now looking for an entry, and I can fine tune it on the next one down, which is a 5. So that's 4 time frames I'm looking at to get one trade. And it kind of frustrates me sometimes when I see these channels where they'll pull up an old 5-minute chart and they go, yeah, you just do this and you do that and you're going to be rich. It's not happening, guys. And if you believe it, then sadly it's time to give up. No. It's a professional job, professional career, and it is quite difficult. You know, once you get your head round it, it's easy, but it's like any other job. In the beginning stages, it's difficult, and there's a lot of information to assimilate. And in this industry, there's a lot of dross. Some people think what I do is dross, but that's because they can't do what I do. And I'm still here after all these years. It's coming up to the 3rd anniversary of YouTube when I started doing this, and I've been consistent all the way through it. And to push that consistency, I'm actually a host now for training webinars for a prop firm, which is the 5%ers. I'm doing another one tomorrow. So if you go on the 5%ers website, you'll see. And why am I the host? Because I trade for them and they actually see my statements, and I've showed you my statements. They know what I can do. You know, it's been proven over a long period of time. And proof's in the pudding. So there we go. A little bit of a monologue to get going. I must be tired, boys and girls. I must be really tired because I'm still going. So what's all this got to do with charts? Well, it's really to get your grey matter working and to think that it's not X marks the spot. And sometimes you do have to put a bit of thought into it. Now, if you're stuck with this video this far, you've possibly got a chance. For those that have just switched off and sort of the Popeyes of this world who constantly kick in, they'll never make it. And they can scream and bawl as much as they like. You know, they're just not going to make it. You know, and such is life. Anyway, so let's flick this over. Where are we up to? Yes, we having our beastly sort of man-child conversations this morning. We're trying to keep the dog happy because his missus has been kicking off, but he's got a good missus. So don't you worry, my fella. Just smile. Happy wife, happy life. I know that more than anybody. Look at my wife. Christ, I get on the wrong side of her, she'd kill me. Isn't that right, Wink? She heard that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
I wouldn't.
Beats me up all the time, you know. She's terrible. I mean, look at me, right? I'm obviously the picture of health, you know. I mean, I keep myself in shape. Just so happens this week's shape's a sack of spuds. And she goes to the gym. So if we got into it, I've either got to get a haymaker in pretty quick or I've had it, because I've got about 10 seconds and I'm out of breath. She goes to the gym and does cardio and everything. She'll me up for hours on end. See that? She hit me again. Oh. That's the other thing with trading as well. Keep your significant other on your side. If you're going through a hard time, share it. It'll lift the burden. It genuinely will. Because trading plays havoc with the mind. Anyway, so you can see us being naughty. Yanis has been really naughty. Shall I show you this one? I mean, look at this. Naughty boy. Naughty boy. I'll keep that. All right. Okay. So, put the strength sheet in this morning. There is slim pickings. There's not a lot going on. The best contender is euro dollar. All right. Why? Well, 2 reasons. One, it's in here, but it's also showing it here. It's telling me it's good. and I can clearly see US strong, Euro very weak. Now, this will affect the DAX. So I'm going to look at the DAX as well. But look at this. That's gaining ground. That's losing ground. So whenever you're looking at strengths, they do play a part in how the market works. Now, if the US is losing ground, but it's at the top of the strength, it could be it's peaking out. And if the euro is at the bottom and gaining, means it's good value, could be bottoming out. So that can help you with a bias. All right. And then I work on a bias. And I've just put that in. Well, I'll put it in at 5 to 10, what's going on. It's telling me they're both buys. But it's also telling me they are C. Now, I grade my trades as well. Why do I grade them? Because sometimes they can be in flux and they're kind of ready to go, but they're not quite ready. And the grading system will help fine tune that. In other words, if it's on a C in this time slot, just wait to the next one and see if it's gathered a little bit more pace. Talk to pace. You're going to get Grandad?
I am, yeah.
All right.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, all right. We'll look after the aging warrior. God almighty. It's like having another kid. Anyway, so that's that. So let's have a look at the charts. So I'm down to 2. Pull this out to the anchor. Now the anchor is a 5 on both of these. Now I've just explained about strengths. Well, there's a colossal drive. Now it's slowed down, but look. Let's just get a little line. It's not so much a trend line, but there's the lowest point. And there is the lowest point it's been to, and now it's pushing away. It's moving up. You can see it's moving up. So if it is moving up, where's its logical point? It's here. The next stall level. Now it's already had a go, and we know markets will oscillate, they'll move up, they'll pull back, and then they'll push forward. Well, there's a move up, there's a pull back. It's not really going down, but it's moving up, so it can push forward. So if it breaks the high of this, it's definitely here as a stall point. Simple stuff, guys. But look at the candle. It's a bit wayward, still indecision. And this one's still having to think about it as well, which makes you wait. Now it's 10 past 10. If I'm waiting just for 15-minute closes, it's not that long really, is it? So let's have a look at the DAX. Now again, this came out as a buy. Why? What's a similar story? Huge push up, slammed down, tried to go up, slammed down, but then immediately went straight back up. But look at the lows. Little point to point. So there's the lowest point to the lowest point. So this is a battleground, and we can see what's going on. The DAX moves very, very quickly, so it's not uncommon for it to come back this far and bounce up. But the inertia is that way. We've got a lot of volume at 9 o'clock telling you this thing is buying, and it's pushed it right back up. So again, it's adding weight, but we now have indecision. We're not rightly sure what's going on. Need confirmation. Wait. And that's why grading your trades can help. So I'll leave these running. I'm probably not going to go into market. Well, I'm not going to go into market till 11 o'clock. So I'll switch the camera off just now, and I'll come back at 11. And then we'll see if we can get some money out of it.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, guys, we're back. It's just gone 11 o'clock. Still need my coffee. Just been having a little look, see what the guys are up to, and give them a heads up of what it is that I'm doing. So if I go on to here, there we are. It's just gone up a few minutes ago. And we'll pull this up, and it's now telling me to wait with the DAX. In other words, I've had a good look at it. There's nothing there. and euro dollar is a buy. It's telling me it's good to look at it over the next hour, and the setup's reasonable to be trade. All right. What does that mean? It just means I've filtered everything down, and I'm now in a time frame that I can look at. So over the course of the next hour, I'll look to get in. If I do, brilliant. If not, I'll reassess it. Sort of 10 to the hour, 5 to the hour. Have another look, see what the situation is. If it's still the same conditions, I'll continue to look. All right. So that's what we're up to. So just get rid of that. And let's have a look, see what we're looking at. Now, what I'm getting at with this is it's about focus. Now, we can see that it is moving up and the greens are in control. Okay, so let's just drop this down onto a 15-minute and see what's going on. Well, that looks nice, doesn't it? Good sort of signs to the upper side. Nice tail showing the pressure. This has come down, but it's failed to break the low. It's pushed up, failed to break the low. So now it's pushing up. Quite happy with that. So 5-minute chart, what does that say? Well, let's do a candle count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which puts the order point kind of around here. Why do I do that? Let the price come to you, and then that way you're not jumping in the charts too early. And we still have inertia on our side. So what I'll do is I'm going to monitor this on a 15-minute. So just drop that down to there. And it's kind of that line that I drew in. If I draw it on here, because when you go up over it, doesn't show the lines till you go to the frame below. So let's have a look. There you are. They're sitting on top of each other. So that's the right place. So let's get an order onto that. Okay. So just pull that into place, which is there. And then we just need to drop our targets in. Well, let's have a look, see what we've got. That's 15 pips, so we'll just put it up there for now. Just out the way. Now this is a relatively slow market, so 10-15 pips is all I'm after, but we'll just put that up there. We can price bounce, we can try and get better pricing, lots of things we can do, but at the meantime, we've got a set parameter that I'm going to work to, and that's it. So all I'm going to do is I'll trail backwards unless we get triggered in. Oh, well, we triggered in, so that's not going to happen. So now we're just looking to get up to, say, our 20 pips. So we'll measure 20 pips out. Which is about there. Okay. So that's 20 pips. So we're going to leave that there. And we'll try and get some extra orders in if it goes backwards, but we'll just monitor that as we go. But that's our marker. Why 20 pips? Why not? Markets oscillate. Don't want to be in the markets any longer than I have to be, so just let it move, let it come back. That's simple. All right, and then I'll work the chart as I go. So I'll let that crack on, and I'll come back to you when the trade is done. Okay, guys, been stopped out. So my premise was right. Held it, entered it roughly the right time. And when I'm day trading, my whole basis is hit and run. And what does hit and run mean? It means I'm not going to outstay my welcome. I'll take what I can get out. But if it's coming back on itself, I'm just not going to let the profits be eaten away, because there's no reason why I can't re-enter the market if I so wish. You know, because what's the point of letting the market run all the way up and then watch it come all the way back down again to go all the way back up to get to the higher point? Take your money. And if you think it's going back up, go back in. That's simple. So where else are we up to? Well, I don't have anything else. I just pull this down because I have been updating the guys. I need to update it again. 12 o'clock. So this last hour. The DAX is in flux. It doesn't really, it could go either way at this moment in time. So you kind of just hang fire with it when the bias is sort of question mark. And this one, I was in a trade and you've just seen that finish. Okay, so they know roughly what's going on, but has it paid me? Has it made me any money? There you go. You know, over the last sort of day from yesterday afternoon, I'm 744 quid. I can't grumble with that. I genuinely can't, you know. And today it's produced, well, decent lunch, I suppose. And am I right to pull it out? Well, yeah, it looks like I am. So again, I'm quite happy. So that's that. What's the moral of the story today, guys? Well, it's pre-planning and homework, but ultimately patience. And if you haven't got the patience and you can't see the framework, you're basically trading blind. And that's one of the worst things you can do, you know. So there we go. I do sort of cherish all of your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. I answer every single one of them. And if you go in the description and you find my contact details, I answer every email. Sometimes you don't get the answer you're looking for, because a lot of the time I get a single line email. Tell me what you do. That's it. I don't know anything about the person. Don't know anything about their knowledge. Nothing. It ain't just tell me what you do. There's a lot to trading. And if you're interested in it and you love it, you find it a fascinating career. But if you think it's quick money, no, not at all. Certainly hasn't been quick money for me. I'm 15 plus years in. And am I a millionaire? Of course I'm not. Do I make a decent wage? Yeah, I do okay. But I make just the same as what a normal guy in a job does. The only difference is I can do what I want when I want. And if I choose to trade while I'm on holiday, sitting on a beach, as you see, I can. I don't recommend it because I've tried it. It's hard work when I'm on holiday. There's too many distractions. I like my office and I like to treat it as a job, not a jolly. So, happy days. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.